Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. On today's video I bring you this Toyota Avensis. This is a 2004 model, and we're gonna be looking at an issue with the O2 sensor. So an oxygen sensor, this one here particularly. So my engine light has been on for a while, and the engine, the fault code I was getting was to do with the O2 sensor heater element. Now this sensor hasn't been working properly also, and it also gives us another problem, which I didn't know it was related, but apparently it's related to this O2 sensor. I'm just going to show you what I mean. So I have the engine light on, you can see there. And I've also have these two lights on, the VSC and the TRC. Those two lights apparently are related to this faulty oxygen sensor. So technically, once I replace it, I should be able to replace the faults on that. So I'm just going through my machine here, gonna check those faults again so I can show you. I've already sort of removed the oxygen sensor in the car, but I temporarily fit it back. I will show you how I had to cut it really to remove it, otherwise it was a bit difficult because it was so tight in there. But I've got a new sensor out of eBay, so while this is loading, I've got this sensor out of eBay. It's a second-hand one, it's not new, and the reason I bought a second-hand one is because they are really expensive if you buy a new one. And this car is now a bit old, and those don't really fail that often, so you can sort of trust buying a second-hand one. And the thing is, it will probably last another, a second-hand sensor like this will probably last another 20, 30, 40,000 miles easily, if not the life of the car. But occasionally buying from eBay also means you may be buying a faulty one. Although they say it's been checked and is in working condition, you can't really guarantee it is. And so I have bought things that are faulty out of eBay before, and the thing is, you can return them and get your money back, and then just go ahead and buy another one. It is what it is. Now this is a 2004 up to 2004 Avensis. Here's just showing you how to check the engine and whatnot. So have to check that. Okay, so here are the faults that I was getting: oxygen sensor, heater control circuit, bank 1, sensor 1, oxygen sensor, heater, bank 1, sensor 1. And I was able to delete those fault codes, but they come back. And then I had the ABS on here, which is saying engine control system, and this is the other one, heater control circuit, low, bank 1, sensor 1. So the ABS one technically is related to this, the heater sensor, the O2 sensor. And I tried to delete that fault code and I couldn't delete it at all. These two I was able to delete, but they did come back. So now I'm going to replace the sensor, and we're gonna see if that actually fixes that fault there, and then we can come back to this and try to clear everything. So let's get started. Get your bonnet open, make sure the car is not running. It is running at the minute. Now something I would say is, if you it's maybe a good idea to get the car at running temperature to remove the sensor, because it can, with the heat, the sensor can come out a little bit easier. But saying that, I had the car on the other day and I couldn't remove it anyway. It was quite hard. But what I did is basically because it is quite hard to remove, the sensor is actually sitting back here, down there, and it's connected just to here, to this plug here. And so what happened is, if you have a socket like this, which is supposed to be for that, because they are so tight, these just they open. They actually open and go around. They don't really crack open the sensor. So what I did is I actually used a deep socket like this, 22 millimeter, one that is actually complete. So a normal socket. But in order to do that, I had to cut the head of the sensor. So I cut it somewhere here. And I just used a sewing cutting. So obviously unplug it, and once it's unplugged, it's gonna be sitting there like this, and you can actually cut it along there, and then your dip socket is going to sit on it nicely, and then you can use a power bar to crack it open. So that's how I did it, because otherwise there was no other way. Nothing was working for me. And now this might be a little bit hot. It is hot, and it's not really tight, but it is a little bit tight because I've put it back. Right, so I am going to use the open tool just to open that, because it's not really, as I said, it's not really tight. But you can see that tool is supposed to be, you can put it in there with the cables on the side, and that way it doesn't, you don't need to butcher it, but because they are so tight sometimes you have to butcher them. Right, it's a bit hot, and take that out, and then we can put the new one in, well, second hand. And I'm going to put just a little bit of anti-seize grease here, so a bit of copper grease before fitting this. And hopefully next time we have to replace this sensor, it'll be a lot easier to remove. Although this car, it's done quite a lot of miles now. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, they are quite, obviously, Toyota's very strong. It can easily go for a long time. But sometimes the problem is that the other parts, brake discs, I mean brake lines and whatnot, if you get corrosion on those, it might not exactly be easy to, not easy, but not cheap to replace, and then it's not worth it, and that, all of that. Right, we can close this now. No need to be too crazy about it. Okay, just get it tight, and then we can plug this in into the socket. It just plugs in. By the way, if you have to remove it, you have to press this clip here. Okay, that is in. I actually heard it clicking, so it's a fairly easy replacement. We'll put that here so that cable doesn't melt with the heat there. Now we can get the car started again and see what happens. So obviously you can also observe live data here for the sensor. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to clear this and see if those clear as well. Hopefully they do, because I was doing quite a lot of research on it, and apparently the O2 sensor is somehow related or connected to those lights. So that did work. They disappeared. So previously when I deleted those, they didn't. So for whatever reason, that sensor is wired to the ABS system on this Toyota. These models, I have had those issues before with this. Not only with the Avensis, but with the if we remember the car before this, the Carina, the Toyota Carina and the Corolla. I had two of those that had the VSC on, and one of those had a faulty airflow meter. Again, I don't know, if the airflow meter was somehow connected to the ABS system. Well, not somehow, it is connected, and that's how Toyota decided to do it. And when I replaced the airflow meter, the VSC light disappeared as well. And that happened to me on both cars, the Avensis, the Corolla and the Carina. Right, let's see if we can find the O2 sensors here. Heater monitor. I think all of these here might be the let's see what that gives us for now, if anything. Well, at least we have the voltage here for sensor 1 and bank 1, sensor 1, bank 1, sensor 2, and they are fluctuating, they are working. So usually they fluctuate between 0 and 1 volt. And so bank 1, sensor 2, by the way, it will be after the cat in this model. And what happens is, if you have a V6 with two exhaust systems, bank 1 sensor 2 becomes the other side of the exhaust, and then bank 2 sensor 2 and bank 2 sensor 2 become the ones after the cat. That sort of arrangement. Okay, they are working. Just need to see if I can find. Sometimes you get an option here where it says heater element on or off, that kind of thing. or we have to wait for the fault code to show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check this again, and I guess if the fault shows up again, then my ABS will come up on. But having said that, actually with the previous sensor that was the heater was broken, I couldn't delete the ABS light, and as I mentioned, I was able to delete these two, but not that one, which means maybe the broken heating element was not letting me delete that, which then I could assume that the heating element will be okay on this car, on this sensor, because it's letting me delete the ABS issue. So I mean, to be honest, it's a fairly easy one. It's a fairly easy repair. Just remember about the deep socket thing, because that is the main issue here. You need to use a 22mm deep socket, and then you can buy one of those sensors as well second hand. And that should work a treat, like it's done here. Nice. It's gone. Right, well, with that said, I think I'm gonna leave you guys. It's an easy one to do. It's an easy repair. I just wanted to see if I could go more technical, but I can't really, and I haven't got enough knowledge on this particular model, because these cars, they never really break down, so they never really have a breakdown, and you don't really have to do much on them. So I don't know how to navigate around the data for it here. So having said that, guys, I hope the video helps. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next video, which is going to be actually not on this car. It's gonna be on a VW Golf, and looking for the alarm siren in it. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.